If you break it down fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. Like, think about, that's the ones that end in divorce. So how many people, what percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20% then, okay?
That's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's insane.
Damn.
That's insane.
I didn't even think about that shit, bro. All these motherfuckers that stay together just because they just scared to leave. They're not there because they in love and they're happy. They're scared to leave. Whew, bruh. God damn.
More likely than not, 76%. If I told you there's a 76% chance when you walk out the door today you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would not go out.
Facts.
Or you'd wear a helmet for sure. But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't get married, there's something wrong with you. So if you've got a girlfriend and you've been with her for 5 years, and you say to someone, we're getting married, they go, oh, that's great. You know, they don't go, why? You're happy. Why would you get married?
Social
like everything's going
conditioning,
fine.
man.
Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you run that risk? If you say to someone, we've been together 5 years and we've decided we're not going to get married. We're going to move in together, but we're not going to get married. Ooh, what's wrong? You have intimacy issues? What's your problem? Meanwhile, 56% end in divorce. It's literally fits the legal definition of negligence. It's a negligent behavior. The way you define negligence in law school is when what you lose by not doing something, okay, is lower than the risk of harm. It's what's called a BPL analysis. So the burden of not doing a thing is lower than the likelihood, the probability of harm. So BPL, so burden, probability, and loss. Marriage is an inherently negligent activity. It's like owning a lion.
Woo.
Like
Woo! Bruh, he's cooking. He's cooking, bruh. He's cooking. Getting married is being negligent by definition. I don't know about all this BPL shit he talking about, bro, but he an attorney. I don't imagine him putting out motherfucking misinformation. Matter of fact, like this directly opposes his business. Right? He should be out here promoting for fucking marriages because you got a 76% chance of that shit not fucking working. Was gonna put money in my pocket. But he's telling y'all to do the opposite of what he needs to do to gain income. So that should just prove how genuine this shit is, bro. But damn, dog, the way you broke that shit down. What up, man? Hey, do me a favor, please, and please subscribe to my Rumble account. And link for it in the description box. If you know, you know. But YouTube has made it very difficult for your boy to do anything. A lot of y'all should know about Rumble. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. You ain't worried about nothing over there. It's real. So, I need y'all to, mess with me over there. Bruh, your boy's hands are tied. You know what I mean? But, we ain't going nowhere. So I ain't gonna stop, bruh. Just make minor adjustments, keep it pushing. Dog, we built for it. But, yeah. Love y'all. Night Talk. Night Nation. Back to your regularly scheduled program. But it is, bro. The risk is not worth the reward, bro. It's all this La La Land, Disneyland type of shit, man. Like, I want one of y'all out there. I know a lot of people married here, happily married. I'm not trying to knock what the fuck y'all doing. Like, whatever. If it worked for you, if you like it, I love it, bro. But that's an emotional thing you're doing it for. Because the argument is it tears apart the nuclear family. But if you have a loving, happy relationship with someone, this doesn't have the fucking marriage on it, right? Whether it's for the church, which is a whole different conversation. That's religious views and shit, which it ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about reality. Like, if you're spiritual and shit and you're religious, cool, whatever. But in reality, bro, if you have a nuclear family together, the mother and father love each other, have kids, living with each other, bro, what's the point of them getting married?
The likelihood of someone getting hurt seriously by this is very, very high. No one ever says it to you. Because why? Because, I would say something.
No, matter of fact, if you say that shit to them, you're gonna get clapped back for it. Especially to a woman. Maybe not for a man. But if you say that shit to a woman, they're not trying to hear that shit. They're not trying to hear that shit, bro. It's like it's like anything else, bro. When your emotions and feelings is warps reality and warps, you're not gonna hear any of that, bro. No logic will be entertained, bro. This is a high risk, high damaging, high likelihood of altering each other's lives negatively, at least for the man the majority of the time, right? That's why women is, but I don't even try to dive into all that, bro. Duh, everybody fucking knows this. That women are incentivized through all this shit. The majority of the time, men are the breadwinners. But that shit may be shifting, no? That's gonna be funny as hell when women eventually out earn men, and then we'll see the decline in marriages at that point when they start getting hit in the mouth with fucking with the alimony and child support and all that shit, bro. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be funny as fuck.
Doing this for over 20 years, and I still get misty-eyed at weddings. Like I still really, there's something in me that goes like, maybe it'll work out for these. It's sweet. I absolutely believe in love. I think love is wonderful. But love and marriage have very little to do with each other. I don't think there's much of a correlation
at all.
And I think that's where we got off track. Like I believe in pair bonds. I don't think I can learn everything I need to know about myself from myself. I think having someone around me who sees my blind spots, and that doesn't have to be a romantic partner. That could be a friend. That could be any number of things. But there is something wonderful about romantic connection. We know that. I mean, the other statistic is 56% of marriages end in divorce, but 84% of people who get divorced are remarried within 5 years of their divorce.
Really? Damn.
Just think about that. So now you've done it and failed and felt the pain of the loss, and within 5 years, 84% are remarried.
So when you fall in love,
that's crazy.
You're with a partner who's in love with you.
Sure.
It's like hard to put the brakes on and say, you know what, that's as far as I'm going to go.
Well, I think whoever discovered water, it wasn't a fish. And I think when we're in a thing, we don't see it. And so, I mean, and this is true of any of us.
There must be some endorphins, something's being released in our brains.
Listen, you want to test that theory. The next time you're out with a couple who've been together for a while, and it seems like they maybe got in a fight, or they're just kind of being impatient with each other at the table. When you go a group thing. Just say to them, so tell me about how you met. Tell me the story of how you met.
They're gonna light up.
Everything on them changes. They go back to that place. And there's this oh yeah, and she was this. Because for that second, you go back to that place. You can go, someone with a horrible divorce, if you could get them to go to that place and talk to you about that time. I would tell you something, when I was a kid, every kid, you have the fantasy of if you were invisible, what would you do? You'd go to the girls' locker room, whatever. I have this fantasy that if I could be invisible, I have about 8 clients that I'd like to sneak into their house and find their wedding album. I know it's in the attic somewhere or something, because I would love to see what it looked like when these people loved each other. Because they are weaponized against each other now, and we are trying to kill each other, and we're taking every secret, every intimacy, everything, and we're
at their ugliest.
At their ugliest, at their worst. And there's something in me that just the thought that you guys at some point, you were there's 7.3 billion people in the world, and you're the one.
Yeah, but
you're the one I just want to be with, and smell, and touch, and that feeling. We all know that feeling of just the electricity of another person, And I think I'm a romantic at heart in the sense that I really get it. I really get why we do this. I felt it. I know it. I understand it. But tying that to the technology of marriage to me makes almost no sense.
You cannot mix business with pleasure. And that's exactly what you're doing by getting married. Marriage is a business through and through. Ain't nothing romantical about that shit. It's business, numbers, contracts. When you mix business with pleasure, what tends to happen? The divorce rate being as high as it is. People not being happy in marriages, bro. You can't do that. And we got to shift this mind state from where we are right now. But he said when you're in it, you just don't know. You can't show a fish water because they in it. They don't know it's fucking water. And everybody don't know that marriage is as devastating as it is. You're just living in a la-la land and tricked to fucking think this is how it's supposed to be when it's not. No one needs to be married. You want to be married. You don't need marriage.
Whatsoever. And I actually think it's almost antagonistic to that connection with another person.
Facts.
Because there's so much expectation that comes with marriage culturally. We've created so much stuff around it. When you marry someone, they're supposed to be, at least in the modern Western model, your best friend, best roommate, best co-parent, best travel partner, best
that's all,
roommate,
that's
best everything, best activity partner. Like
unrealistic.
how would one person be all of those things? That's insane. Like if I was interviewing for a job and said, I want you to be the best typist, and I also want you to be best on the phone, and I also want you to be great at that. And I ran down a list of dissimilar things. Like, or if I went to an amazing chef, and I said, I know you're a great chef, but can you farm? Like, well, that has to do with food, but they're not the same thing. Like, what are you talking? So I think, why do we put on people this idea, like whoever came up with the word soulmate, really we should be paying, like divorce lawyers should be paying that person dividends. Because we've convinced people that if this person isn't meeting every one of your needs, checking all of these boxes, they're not your soulmate. Your soulmate would know exactly what to do, exactly what to say at exactly the right time.
And then what's more interesting is that women are the main ones that have that criticism, having all these boxes that need to be checked. It needs to be this. And men don't have that when they go into marriage. They just find somebody cool enough to get married to, put some babies in, take care of, and then boom, just give me some box a little bit, some mouth if you down, cook, clean. That's cool, bro. Just don't get on my nerves, bro. But the expectation, check this box, this box, this box, this box, this box, dick box, this box, this box, and this box, bro. Who's that come from? It comes from women, bro. So it's the expectation that society has placed on marriage from the woman's perspective that it's destroying everything, because who's the ones that files for divorce? Bro, like the expectations that is placed on marriage through society that women are just religiously, blindly hypnotized to follow is fucking crazy, bro.
I asked you earlier if you believe in love, which you said you do. Do you believe in marriage?
I mean, I believe people believe in marriage.
No, but do you?
Yeah. Do I believe in marriage? I don't. I don't think it's a useful technology. I understand culturally why people do it, but I don't think people should need it. I know I certainly don't need marriage. I don't think marriage... I was married. I was married before I really ever thought about what does that mean. I married my college sweetheart. I got married because that's what you do. You get married. But I hadn't thought about it as a technology and why it's there. I didn't understand it the way I do now. There's a line from a Joseph Brodsky poem that he wrote when his wife died, where he says, "I wish I knew no astronomy when stars appear." And I feel that way as a divorce lawyer. Like, I wish I knew no astronomy.
That's a bar. I wished I knew no astronomy when stars appear, so you could continue to be mesmerized by the stars. But once you know the science, it doesn't hit the same because you know why, bruh. And he knows the institution of marriage from like in and out, everything in between, and he realizes what the fuck it is. It ain't worth shit. It is a broken technology, bro. It is a useless utility, bro. You don't need it. You don't need it. There's nothing a marriage can do beneficial to you that a loving monogamous relationship can't. Maybe like for taxes and shit like that, but there's other ways you can navigate through that space. I mean, if you're smart about it. And then you can just make up your own types of contracts to make people feel secure and all these fucking extreme cases or exceptions to everything. Like you can there's ways around that. There's ways to navigate through that to avoid fucking marriage, bro. Marriage does nothing for anybody, bro. Unless you is working for you, you have no problems, no qualms, you don't feel forced to remain there, then cool. But that's not nearly 80% of motherfuckers don't live in that world.
I wish I knew no astronomy when stars appear. I wish I didn't know what the end of so many marriages looks like, because I think I would have a more optimistic and unrealistic view of it.
Yeah, but you'd be divorced and giving away half your...
I'd be foolish. Yeah, I'd be as foolish. But I don't know that it's always good to know. Right? Sometimes there's tremendous joy to be had, and like falling feels like flying for a little while, till you hit the ground. Yeah. It feels really good.
But as I said earlier, now that the life expectancy of man is around the 80s or something, then it's like, so you're going to do this from your 20s or 30s until you're 80?
Well, marriage is a technology that was designed for when women died in childbirth and when men died in their 40s if they were lucky.
And you had multiple
50s if they
children.
were super lucky. Like if you were in your 50s, your 60s, you were an elder. That was pretty amazing. And most women died in childbirth. Like childbirth is traumatic. It's a traumatic thing, and before modern medicine and before we understood antibiotics. So marriage is I don't think anyone ever planned that it was going to be, okay, we're going to do this forever. We're going to do this till we're till we're 100.
James Sexton dropping truth bombs all over the place that I'm sure the women are going to hate to hear, man, but that's real fucking talk. Real fucking talk, bro. It's up on Soft White Underbelly. All right. Peace.